Hey guys, Mr. Corbin here, and I'd promised you all that we would have just a little bit of review for your test that's coming up next week. Okay, so what I wanted to do was just actually go ahead and work the other 6 problems that I had given you last week. We had 8 problems. I did a couple of them on the board today, and I know a lot of you have these finished already, but I wanted to make sure that you knew how to do these and gave you an opportunity to see them worked for the test or before the test. Okay, so I've got number 1 up here. You should be able to see that. So let me go ahead and make my T-chart. Again, just like normal, we're always going to make a T-chart, X and Y. And we're going to go ahead and pick our X values. Our X values are 0, 1, and 2. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and plug those in and then chug to our Y's. Remember, we're looking for solutions to the linear equation because those are points that are on the line. So let's go ahead and find those Y's that match up with those X's, okay? Don't let this fraction, this fractional coefficient right here, throw you off, okay? It's okay if it turns out to be a decimal or a fraction, okay? So I'm going to start off Y equals 5/2 times 0, because I'm plugging in this 0 for X. And so that gives me Y equals 0 plus 3, or just 3. Okay, pick another color here. And so we're going to plug in the 1. So Y equals 5/2 times 1 plus 3. Y equals 5/2 plus 3. Well, 5/2 is 2.5 plus 3, so that equals 5.5. Or you can put it as a decimal, whichever one that you like. Okay, and then let's go ahead and plug in the 2. Y equals 5/2 times 2 plus 3. And so I love it because these 2's cancel out, and that gives me 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, now we'll go over here and we'll graph these. So 0, 3, it's right there. 1, 5.5, it's about there. And 2, 8, well, there's 6, 7, 8. Kind of went off the graph here a little bit, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. And then we just connect the dots. And there's number 1. Okay. All right. Number 2. We did this one in class. Remember, anytime you have Y equals a number, now not Y equals and then an X in there. I'm talking about Y just equals a number. That's a horizontal line, and it crosses the Y-axis at that point. Okay, that's just a good thing to remember. If you forget, go ahead and do a T-chart. Just remember, all Y's are equal to 1, okay? Y equals 0, same thing, horizontal line at 0. So it's going to cross the Y-axis at 0. All Y's are 0, okay? Number 4 here. Let me clear this off. Okay, so T-chart. Well, T-chart, correct. 0, 1, and 2. Remember me telling you it doesn't make any difference which X you use. 0, 1, and 2 are just usually the easiest. If I was doing this by myself, I would probably use multiples of 5. And I told you that's because it clears out the fraction, okay? But this is good. Don't let the fraction scare you, okay, or the decimal, because the real world's full of them. Most of the time, it's not going to turn out fluffy and pretty whole numbers, okay? So negative 2 over 5 times 0 plus 1. So Y, this equals 0 plus 1 is just 1. So when X is 0, Y is 1. Okay, then we're going to plug in the 1. y equals negative 2 fifths times 1 for x. Again, just using the original equation. So y equals negative 2 fifths plus 1. So if this is 5 fifths and then minus 2 fifths, so that gives me y equals 3 fifths or just 0.6. And then y, plugging in our 2, negative 2 fifths times 2 plus 1. So y equals, and remember now, we're multiplying, so we're going to put a 1 underneath this, and that's going to give me negative 4 fifths plus 1. And so if this is 5 fifths, that means y is going to give me 1 fifth or 0.2. Okay? So when I go to graph this, 0, 1, it's right there. 1.6, well, 0.5 is half, so it's just going to be a little over half. And then 2.2 is just barely over 2. And so we're going to get a line. Don't forget to use a straight edge, okay? I'm cheating because I finally found a tool that can help me draw a straight line, because you guys know Mr. Gorman's not good at drawing straight lines, is he? All right. So there is number 4. Okay. All right, let's do the next one. All right. So again, start off with our T-chart. 0, 1, and 2 are usually good places to start. And let's plug those in. Take the equation. Now remember, this is minus or a negative times whatever x is. Well, we're plugging in 0. Of course, you know that there's no such thing as a negative 0. So when x is 0, y is just 3. But that minus, you can think of this minus right here meaning is opposite whatever you plug in for x. Remember, x is your input. You're dumping in the input, right? Okay. Now, let's go ahead and plug in the 1. So that's y equals, that's going to be negative whatever x is. Well, x is 1 plus 3. So y is equal to negative 1 plus 3, which equals 2. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and got somebody coming in here. So if you guys see them on video, don't worry about it. It's just Sophia. You guys want to say hello to everybody? Say hi. There's Sophia. There's Savannah. Say hi, Savannah. Okay. Thank you. All right. And so let's go ahead and get another one. Y equals, it's going to be negative, whatever x is, 2 plus 3. And so y is equal to 1. And so we can graph these. 0, 3. Be careful now. Remember, 0 for x is right here, and then go up 3 on y, okay? 1, 2, and 2, 1. And then we'll draw our line. Don't you guys dig my lines? Y'all like those, don't you? I like them too. All right. Again, these points are solutions to this equation. These ordered pairs of solutions, but in the graph world, there are points on the line. So we get the points graphed because they're solutions. We can connect the dots, okay? All right, let's do the next one. All right, this is one we did in class, so you guys have that one already. All right, this is an interesting one. So draw our T-chart. X, Y, 0, 1, and 2. All right, and we're going to plug these in one at a time. So y is equal to 5 over 2 times 0. So that means when x is 0, y is also 0. All right. Now let's plug in x equals 1. So y equals 5 over 2 times 1. Okay. So when x is 1, y is 5 over 2. And that's 2.5, right? And then let's do the next one. X equals 2. So 5 halves times 2. And I love these because these 2's actually cancel out. It leaves me with just 5. Okay. And so 0, 0 is right there. 1, 2.5. Remember that's 2.5. So we go to 2 and then just go up a half. Then over 2 and up 5. And look at that. Looks to me like they make a straight line, don't they? Ooh. All right. Got one more, don't we? Okay. So let's do number 8. Pretty straightforward, no fractions. I know you guys like it when they don't have fractions in it, don't they? You gotta love the fraction. Don't hate on the fraction. Love the fraction. All right, so 0, 1, and 2 are going to be our friends. So here we go. Plug them in one at a time. So y is equal to 4. Now remember, that's 4 times whatever x is. We're plugging in 0, aren't we? So when x is 0, y is equal to -4. You guys hear my mouse squeaking? It's funny, a mouse actually squeaking. All right, and then y equals 4 times, well, x is 1 minus 4. So that's 4 minus 4 or 0, right? And let's try the 2. Y equals 4 times 2 minus 4. So that's y equals 4 times 2 is 8 minus 4, I think, gives me 4, does it not? I think so. So 0, -4 will be right there. 1, 0 right there. And 2, 4. It's going to be right there. And we draw our line. Oh, Mr. Corbin was off just a little bit. That's what it looks like. So hopefully that gives you guys a little help to be able to go ahead and get started. Okay. Hey, as you know, a lot of love from the LOC. I will talk to you guys next week. Okay.